And we are back. We are live. This is the Cheech and Manny show, the People's Podcast. I think the greatest music podcast on YouTube.
I agree.
I
I
know that
totally agree.
I know that sounds like an overstatement, but we are your source for anything rock music, true crime, and any awesome topic such as philosophy, literature, movies, right? We talk about it all, don't we, Cheech?
We cover everything, man. We really do, and that's what I love. Music is our passion, but we have all these other things. Our true crime around Halloween. We did all the horror stuff, all the Conjuring, all the Warren stuff. Um, the true crime stuff isn't over, but right now I think our main focus in
Well, I
our
will say we are on the progressive rock train, and dude,
oh
we
my
can't seem to
God,
get off. I'm
you
kind of
know.
scared because I don't want to go home. I want to
We
stay on the prog train.
we go on trains. We went on the serial killer train. We were on the Dylan
Now,
train.
I will say the serial killer train. I got off it. I had to take a shower, man.
Yeah, yeah. I got Ed Kemper written, but that's not going to happen for a while. We're on the prog rock train. I got literally 8 to 10 episodes on prog rock. Uh, Before we start, I want to give a shout out to the greatest band in the galaxy, Potter's Field. We had a great set at Freebirds on Sunday night. I think I sent you some footage of the
Mhm.
the the house band, how great they are. We had a great killer set. We're going to be there again this Sunday. We
Wait. So
got
pause. So for our fans out there, this Sunday, Freebirds, White Plains, right?
yeah,
Freebirds.
yeah,
What
Freebirds. Yep.
time?
Usually between 9:30 and 10, we go up and play.
You can
So
make
we're
it.
yeah,
Get there early, buy yourself a
yeah,
drink, and then sit
definitely.
back and enjoy the show.
And you can hear our hits. And Manny, what's your favorite hit?
Dude,
And what's
man,
your favorite? No, let me go further. What's your favorite hit and your favorite video by Pottersfield?
dude, it's a two for one. It's Big Fat Chicks, man. And I will say it's funny because we were shout out to Pottersfield BX. I get the privilege of co-hosting with the People's Bases, but shout out to um old band. Potterfield BX is awesome. Rescuing old school rock and roll, which we
Thank
so
you.
desperately needed. And my favorite song is Big Fat Chicks. The video is to die for. That's one of the most funniest things.
That video
Oh,
should get 1 million views, man.
dude,
Bobby's a genius. I
you're
can't.
your band and particularly Bobby are singing about big fat chicks. I mean, I don't think there's not enough songs on them, you know?
No.
And I was telling to our fans out there, we had this great conversation yesterday, and go listen to the song. It's great. It begins very I just love the beginning.
Yeah.
It
It's
sounds
it's
like a great theme or something. And
it is. It's one of those songs that everybody in the club likes to sing along to. They love it. The video is great. It's one of my favorite songs to play.
it's one of my favorites. And I think shout out also to Laboratory Love.
Oh yes.
That song
Labra-
cracks me up in the best way. And
we
it
got
rocks.
we're gonna bring it back. Laboratory Love has been one of those songs. It's been on the back burner because it's proggy. It gets proggy at the
Yeah,
end. So
man. Yeah. You
we
guys
haven't
need
played it
you guys need to write a sequel, Digital Love.
exactly. And we're gonna that's gonna come in the new year. Laboratory Love will be added, and that song and hopefully Just a Dream I told you about, which is
Yeah,
one of my
yeah.
favorite songs.
Yeah.
And we're gonna throw in some covers as well. So looking
Yeah.
forward to all that.
Dude,
Shout
that's
out to
awesome.
shout out to Potter's Field. My brothers in arms. I love those guys, man. Greatest band I've ever been in my life.
Love it, man. Now, for today's show, I have donned my Christmas sweater.
Yes,
I love sweaters. I kind of think Mr. Rogers and Bing Crosby are like my spiritual,
exactly.
spirit.
Cardigan, right? The cardigan
I
sweater.
love the
Yeah.
cardigan. Yeah. But today we're gonna be talking. This is our Christmas special, our usual or annual, I should say, at this point.
Annual, yeah, part
And,
two,
and,
part
and I'm
two.
gonna link last year's Christmas episode down below, so you can check that out. Which
Yeah.
you know, I remember I somehow managed. I might do it again. I in the beginning I posted a duet between Bing and Frank. Right? It's
Oh, yeah,
I don't even remember. Really great, right? It sets the tone for that episode. And
definitely.
today's episode, we're gonna be looking at, I think, uh, an area where the spotlight has not shined upon. And
Yeah,
anybody that loves Christmas music knows that if you go back to the old albums, the sound is what makes these classics, right? So we're
exactly.
going to be looking at the people responsible for that, and particularly the engineers.
Yeah. The producers and the most important people, the arrangers. Now, for those of you who don't know what an arranger is, an arranger will take sections of music and he'll arrange parts for a string section. He'll arrange parts for horns, flutes, percussion, and he writes it all down on paper. It's a dying art because now freaking AI probably does it. It's a tedious job. But back in the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, arrangers were a part of the band.
Hmm.
They would
And,
write out the notes.
no, and that's really important because I will say I am like Santa Claus embodied. I love Christmas music. I
Oh,
cannot believe when people
beautiful.
say I'm sick of it. I mean, it's
And
crazy
and
because
I'm gonna say this: we're lucky. Me and you listen to a lot of Christmas music together. You
yeah,
know,
yeah,
so we're at the temple and they're playing. And I have to say, a lot of the newer Christmas music, I don't even know the names of these
mm.
people, but some of it is good. But when we're at the temple, we're listening
And,
and
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 and yes, Cheech loves Justin Bieber's "Slow Drummer Boy."
oh yeah, I love it. I actually like Curtis Blow wrapping paper. Oh no, what is it? Is it no, wrapping paper is the other, but what is Curtis
Yeah.
Blow? I forget. But
Um, yeah, no, you're that's true, and it's crazy. But one of my critiques with and it's funny because we are in the middle, and you're in the middle. Thank you, Cheech, for writing a show on swing because there's some great modern Christmas
oh yeah,
sounds. But what I will say from a critical standpoint, most modern Christmas albums are not that great because they
no, no,
sound too, what's the word I
generic.
want to use? Generic, clean. And by the way, keep making Christmas albums. I'm not saying,
And
oh,
you know why? The arrangers aren't there.
well, that's the secret because everybody, right now, I'm gonna give you some homework. Write it down in your assignment pads. You are going to listen to Johnny Mathis' classic Christmas album, and then now
Yeah,
listen to anything that you listen to today. Even in the 80s, where you would listen to a song like Last Christmas by Wham,
yeah,
and that's a great one.
it
But
really is. Yeah,
or if you was fascinating. Michael Bublé in 2011, in my opinion, he rescued the Christmas album
he
with
did. He
his
really did.
Christmas album, where he brought back a lot of the classics. Now, I
He did.
love that album. If it wasn't for him, I'll be honest with you, my taste wouldn't expand.
Yeah,
But that being said, if you compare the sound of that album to Nat King Cole's, something is off, right? Even he did his best. Like he's great. Michael Bublé, love him
oh,
to death.
yeah.
Great Christmas standards on his classic album, but it is lacking in something. You put the needle on, like we're gonna talk about some of the big ones, but particularly Johnny Mathis. Man, it sounds like heaven. It's
Yeah.
literally sounds like you hear strings, the sounds,
Hmm.
and you know this, and you're gonna go in detail. Um, the strings, the sounds, the bells, the voice, the instrumentals, the orchestrations in the back. They just feel so right that
Yeah. And it's all from the producer and the arranger. Now the talent is there. Nat King Cole and Johnny Mathis, they're there.
Oh yeah.
The arranger's making it sound full and making it sound like there's a snowstorm back there and Santa Claus is coming, with the music, and the producer's capturing all that and
Yeah.
making that, giving the ideas and making that happen. And that's why they need to be known. And on this show, we're going to talk about the four big, Bing Cosby, Perry Como, Nat King Cole, and Johnny Mathis. And we're also going to talk about the arrangers because those are the guys. And one guy in particular, Percy Heath, Johnny Mathis's arranger, that guy made that album
Yeah.
blow up, you know. And it's funny, you did that metal table at the temple had gotten us to, since we were listening to these Christmas songs and getting into the arrangers, we are at some point going to do a whole movement on swing,
Hmm.
jazz, like the Glenn Miller, Benny Goodman, Duke Ellington, Count Basie, the big four,
Now, by the way,
leading.
speaking of no, and speaking of Count Basie, just a quick thing. Um, and we're not gonna talk about him because this otherwise this Christmas album, this Christmas show is gonna be like hours. But Tony Bennett released also one of the best Christmas albums in the
Oh
'60s,
yeah,
very jazzy and arranged.
yeah,
And recently, before I think it was 2011, dude, he releases a sequel Christmas album.
yeah, yeah,
And who does he get as his arranger? Count Basie. And let me tell you, Bennett is like in the 70s. But
yeah.
dude, with Basie,
Oh
man,
yeah,
it's like, dude, that's the secret. And for any recording artists out there,
yeah,
the arranger, we need to rescue, especially for the Christmas album
yeah.
art. Like you need the talent is there. Like Tony Bennett, oh my goodness, come on! Like he's
I know.
he's at this point, he's still releasing albums and they're still great.
Yeah,
And I listened to the sequel, which he released in 2011, and I was listening to it, and with Count Basie, and it's kind of funny. The album cover has him carving a turkey and Basie's band, and Basie's there, like with all their
yeah,
plates.
yeah.
So very funny and cute. But I'm listening to it, man. It a worthy sequel to this 1960s classic, and what that's a hard thing to top.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah,
but Count Basie is the secret,
yeah,
Christmas sauce. I
yeah.
mean, and Count Basie's a phenomenal arranger. I think he worked for Sinatra too. Sinatra knew his
Oh
arrangers
yeah,
as well.
yeah. I mean, and let me tell you, I told you my arranging story. It's a lost art. I took an arranging class in college, and I had to arrange, for like a trio. It was like a maybe a flute, a French
Now,
horn.
now, Cheese, let me tell you, to be an arranger, do you have to know musical theory? Like,
You
do you
have to
have to know?
you have to be a master of musical theory. You have to know counterpoint, harmony, theory, rhythmic, uh, all the notes, 16ths, eighth notes, syncopation. You have to be a master at that. I was a horrible arranger when I wrote in my class. I mean, for instance, if you're writing for French horn, a C on a French horn looks like a C, but you sounds like a C, but you have to write it as a G. I think an alto or a tenor sax, I could be wrong, is a half step lower. It's not. It's a B flat, but it's a B flat sounds like a C. A flute is in standard tuning. It's regular C, but it's impossible. You have to actually to be an arranger. You have to play every instrument. You know, you have to play every instrument. You don't have to be a master, but you got to know. When I did my final project in the arranging class, I mean, kids were holding their ears. That's how bad it was.
Yeah,
You
you were
know,
telling me.
because like that's not my my thing. My thing is like I write a song, I'm like, guys, okay, here you go, guys, it's E, C, D, and G, here's the riff, and then we go to B and D in the bridge. I arranged it, but I just did it verbally. But to write that shit out, it's a lost art. And sadly, I'm sure there's programs and AI and all that shit is doing it now. Hopefully, there's somebody still doing it. Hopefully, at Berkeley School of Music, they're still teaching arranging and kids are still writing and arranging for big bands. You know, and classical musicians do it too. The conductor will be you know leading it, and somebody's arranging that that music and putting it on paper and stuff, or not. It's probably written in a classical form, but they're changing dynamics and they're adding all that stuff. So the arranger is a lost art, I think, you know. So let's jump right into the show, and we're gonna talk about Bing Crosby, Perry Como, Nat King Cole, and the great Johnny Mathis. So I'm going to talk about Bing Crosby. He is a great American singer, actor, media personality, known for his baritone voice in his role. This is important in revolutionizing the record industry. And I'm going to explain that. He had 50 years. He had a 50-year music career. How many people could say that shit, man?
Dude,
You
it's
know,
and not and
I
by the
mean,
way, not only musical career, actor. Like, dude, this guy was insane and he was phenomenal. Like,
oh yeah.
he's one of those actors that just he's an actor, like as actors should be. And on
Oh,
top of that,
definitely.
one of the best baritone singers
Hmm.
and consequently a recording artist who releases one of the greatest albums and Christmas albums of all time as
Well,
well.
he invented it. You know, I'm going to get
It's
to it. He
nuts.
invented it. Um, he
And he's
sold.
saying, and by the way, he's saying Urban Berlin's White Christmas. He
Yeah,
set the standard,
he did.
which is nuts.
Yeah. Um, he sold over. Guess how many albums this dude sold?
Tell me,
1 billion records.
sounds right.
Now, a fucking billion records. That's
Also,
insane.
also he's saying with David Bowie. I mean,
That is class. The Little Drummer Boy,
yeah.
classic. He also pioneered the use of magnetic tape for pre-recording radio shows, and that influenced the future of broadcasting and recording. Um, he won an Academy Award for Best Actor in 1945 in a role in the movie Going My Way. Merry Christmas. This is interesting. Merry Christmas 1945 is considered the first Christmas album to ever come out on Decca Records. He's the one who influenced people to make Christmas albums. So he's the main guy. You know, he is the pioneer of this. Um, he's the Canterbury scene.
Oh, he's the Canterbury scene of progressive rock.
Yeah, he
He's
totally
like
is.
he's like the East End of like
Yeah. He's the new Wobbin of
dude,
fucking Christmas, this guy, you know?
dude, he's classic. And I love um anyone out there, you want a place to start, you need to listen to his Christmas album. I mean, it's everywhere. It's iconic. I was listening to it this morning,
Yeah, it's
and
beautiful.
every track is a 10 out of 10. He also has other ones, other Christmas albums, like
Oh yeah, yeah.
compilations, which are
But this
great.
one, this one is the one.
It's the one, and bro, it kind of looks like that. I know it's blurry.
Yeah,
It's classic. We
yeah.
have Silent Night, Adeste Fidelis, White Christmas, God Rest Ye Merry Gentlemen, Faith of Our Fathers, I'll Be Home for Christmas. I mean,
It
and this
doesn't
is
get.
night. And by the way, this is 1945.
Yeah, yeah.
Dude, he has Jingle Bells, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Silver Bells, which is my favorite with Carol Richards. It's beginning to look like Christmas. An interesting one, an Irish tune, Christmas in Killarney, and
I
Meli.
love that song. I love that
It's
song.
it's great, and Meli Kalimaka, Merry Christmas, another nice little island version there. But yeah,
That's the Hawaiian one.
yep.
Yeah.
It
And
it's
you know what's funny? That's in the Chevy Chase movie, um, Christmas Vacation.
National Lampoon's. It is, yeah.
Yeah. Um, so he's considered, the guy. He influenced everyone to make Christmas albums. White Christmas, let's talk about that, is the best-selling single of all time. It sold over 50 million copies worldwide, and it went to number one. That's insane. Um, I'm not gonna name the songs. You named all the songs that are on the album. Um, now, White Christmas, the song. Now, correct me on this. It's from the movie Holiday Inn,
Yep,
written by Irving Berlin.
yep.
Is Bing in the movie?
Dude, you haven't seen the movie?
I forgot. He's in the movie, right?
Uh, dude, I've got some homework for you. You need to watch it. Yeah, he's in the movie.
It's been does he
Yeah.
and he sings it, right?
Oh,
Yeah,
he sings
right.
in the movie, probably one of the most iconic scenes. They're snowed in,
Yeah.
and by the can there's a piano, Christmas tree by fireplace. He starts singing "I'm Dreaming" in this great baritone. Like,
Yeah.
oh,
I mean,
dude,
it's been years. I was
it's
thinking about it
oh,
like
I'm very crazy and obsessive with Christmas, but yeah, I've seen it. Like, I love it. And there's actually not a sequel, but there's actually White Christmas in 1950s. I don't know if you heard of this movie. It's in color. It
no.
That's another one. Great movie. Not It's called White Christmas, and then you got Holiday Inn. So
Right, right.
Holiday Inn is black and white. White Christmas is color, and um both have songs written by Urban Berlin, and both feature White Christmas, the
Right.
song.
Right,
So
right.
yeah,
Um and you know and there was it's a famous movie as you said and he popularized White Christmas. It was on the charts for 11 weeks, went to number 1 in 1943 and into 1944. Now, here's a guy that's not probably mentioned, and we're going to talk about his arranger. And this is, as great as Bing Crosby is, he's a genius, but this is a this is half of why this guy is so great. John Scott Trotter was Bing Crosby's arranger and orchestra leader.
mm.
He is the one who gave Bing Crosby that big sound, lush, rich arrangements full of that like ornamentation. They use this in music, ornamentation,
Yeah,
um
yeah,
a vocal chorus. Check this out. On I don't know what song, but on the album, the London Symphony Orchestra was on the album, and he had traditional arrangements, and he took the traditional arrangements and he made them modern by using sounds of pop and jazz influence of that time. So he was like taking old standards and putting jazz arrangements to them and pop arrangements to them, which is genius. And I love the term ornamentation because that's what gives you the bells, the chimes, what makes you feel like you're on a sleigh. It, it makes the arranger makes the song a movie in your
yeah,
head.
yeah. And that's a good way of putting it because at this point we've heard a lot of versions of White Christmas. At this point, I mean,
Oh yeah, yeah,
dude, it's become part of human consciousness, right? It's
yeah,
in the collective unconscious. But
yeah,
when you sort of like start taking deconstructing it, one of the elements, and I like what you said there, like and, and that's why the old versions of White Christmas, in my opinion, are superior to the new ones because of those arrangers. Because you're
yeah.
right, very cinematic. Like if you listen to, and by the way, first of all, the the person that wrote it was Urban Berlin. I mean,
Yeah.
it, it,
Where are our Irving Berlins?
dude,
They're not there anymore.
we don't have any Urban
I
Berlins.
mean, you have Andrew Lloyd Webber, John Williams.
Oh, but dude, but that they're not. But that's back then. They don't exist
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
No,
Like those would be like modern, the modern
we
kind
need
of.
him. We
Yeah,
need him, and
I
we need
can't
a resurfacing.
I can't think of an Irving Berlin right now. A guy writing
No,
songs, or a
no,
Mel Torme, the Christmas song. There's nobody like that that can write like
no,
that.
no. I'll be honest with you. I just think that's well. I'm not even going to go in there. But what you would experience with, and I see what the arranger is because it's very similar to George Martin of the Beatles. The
Yeah,
Beatles are amazing, every one of them. But dude, without George Martin, the arranger,
yeah.
and he made the Beatles
Well,
cinematic,
in
especially on
rock I'm sorry, in rock music, the producer, he or the engineer, they're the arranger. They're just not writing it out on
but the
paper.
thing is, George Martin was not a producer. He was always an arranger. I don't know if you knew that.
No,
George Martin, yeah, he was not. when he was hired, he was already doing hits for pop artists, but
Yeah.
he looked down on that music. And then he met these four lads, the Beatles, and he thought there was a magic there. And he was like, "All right, I'll work with you, but you need to listen to everything that tell you to do."
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
he actually, Paul McCartney would come in and say, "George, can you make these strings for me? I want these sounds." Yeah, yeah, I'll compose it. And he would say, he'd get his orchestra. Yeah, he was
Oh, okay.
insane. But
Yeah.
going back to there's no George Martin's either. But going back to Urban Berlin and White Christmas, Bing's version, especially in this one, is cinematic. It begins with those beautiful slow strings,
Yeah.
and and the arranger knew how to capitalize on Bing's voice
He did.
because it just it goes like nah, nah, nah. Like it sets the tone. You can like picture a snowy, you're snowed in some sort of
Yep.
cabin. There's a
Yep.
fire going. You start psychologically, you start to hear these sounds, and that's the
Yeah.
arranger.
Yeah. That's
And
the
and
auditory system going on, you know.
and
It's
and
amazing.
and if you and it's crazy because you're listening to a 1945 song,
Yeah.
and that's remarkable. I urge everybody out there. There's a lot of versions of White Christmas. You have your favorites, I have my favorites, but Bing's version, first of all, set the standard,
Yeah.
and you hear the magic of the arranger full
Oh
front
yeah,
force.
yeah.
Like, and again, Bing Crosby, mind you, he's like half of the magic, but the rest is the person that arranged his music.
Yeah.
And the OG arranger was Urban Berlin, who himself was an insane genius.
Yeah.
Like
He wrote the tune, you
dude,
know.
think about writing a tune like
And
that. Like,
and give the history of the song because you told me this at the temple.
yeah, yeah. So Urban Berlin is fascinating. First of all, he was Jewish.
Yeah.
So that's a little he wasn't Christian at this point. And watch our last year's Christmas episode to look at prehistoric Christmas.
Yeah,
If you want
we
to see
broke it down.
the Canterbury scene
Yeah,
of
that's so
Christmas,
we go way back. Yeah.
we go way back. But Urban Berlin is fascinating. He wrote this song in like I think in like LA or something. It was hot. It wasn't even snowy,
Yeah.
and he was thinking, conjuring up these images of Christmas and the feelings and nostalgia that it invokes. And what he got out of it was that Christmas has this sad melancholiness to it, and
Yeah.
he captured that in song form.
Yeah.
And actually, he was composing for the film Holiday Inn. So,
Right.
so he's a composer. He gets hired to compose, and he knew how to make musicals, arrangements, and all that. He was a
Yeah.
genius. And by the way, he made the song "Holiday," "Happy Holidays." I mean,
Right.
on that
Yeah.
same album,
Guy was
he,
a friggin' genius.
dude, he composes the famous "Happy Holidays" for our
And
viewers
he
out there.
also wrote on Broadway. He
Oh,
was a
uh,
Broadway writer,
uh, uh,
so
he,
freaking
he
genius.
is and then out of nowhere he's in I think it's sunny LA, somewhere sunny hot, and he starts to think of the images, what invokes Christmas. Starts and then White Christmas starts coming together, and those famous lines, I'm dreaming of a white Christmas with every Christmas card I write.
Yeah.
Again, he's bringing and actually he's sort of moving away from the religious stuff and focusing. In my opinion, he's one of the people that created the modern idea of Christmas,
Yeah.
where we have Christmas cards, snow, all that good
Oh
stuff,
yeah, yeah.
and how it's always there's a psychological thing with Christmas. As you get older, it starts getting more sadder, right?
Yeah.
Urban Berlin put that in one song, and then gets Bing Crosby, who is
The
already
greatest.
getting famous,
Yeah.
and he captures that. It's just magic. But
It is total magic.
He
Yeah.
composed it for the film Holiday Inn, which was a
Yeah.
smash hit.
Yeah.
I've seen it. It's phenomenal. Highly recommend.
I haven't seen it probably since I was a
But
child. I remember I got to go back and watch it.
it's funny as an aside though. It does have a scene with like blackface.
Oh, really?
But it's kind of tongue in cheek.
Yeah.
But maybe some viewers are gonna be like, "Yo, what am I watching?" And it's just like a scene.
Yeah.
Because in those days, blackface was common
Yeah. The
in like
different
old
different time.
Hollywood. But aside from that, anyway, just a little side. But yeah, that's how the song came to be. And then so on the album, it gets re-recorded, and the arranger, does his magic and
Yeah.
creates one of the most standards of standards. I mean, it doesn't get more standard than that.
I mean, the takeaway from this is when you listen to the old Christmas songs, you obviously your ears are going to listen right to the vocals and the lyrics, but think about the music you're hearing, because that music is invoking Christmas just as much as the lyrics are. So the arranger who put that together is so important. And the point I'm trying to uh, get is there. Remember how important a musical arranger is in
Yep.
general. In general, in any in the jazz world, Glenn Miller, Benny Goodman, but in Christmas music especially, it's
Yeah.
invoking an emotion by adding a chime, a bing, a bell,
Yeah.
ding dong dong, that kind of stuff, So, any questions on Mr. Uh
No.
Bing Cosby?
No. White Christmas Bing is the Canterbury of Christmas music.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
doesn't get
he's
more
the Canterbury.
dude, it doesn't get more Canterbury than him, Bing Crosby. But legend,
Now,
if and our viewers out there, young guys, young gals, listen to this out. I
yeah,
mean, honestly, don't listen to the modern stuff.
yeah,
I would
yeah,
even say screw Mariah Carey. Go back to
yeah.
this. Like honestly.
Put down anything. The '80s were good. The '80s were good for Christmas.
80s were
Yeah.
good. Yeah, yeah.
Anything after the '80s, there's no good in my opinion. Not
It,
not not really. I mean, there's good.
it
I don't
enters, you
want
know
to
what it
be.
is, Cheech? It enters generic mode to the point
Yeah,
where it's hard to find the good stuff. That being said, there is great stuff, but it
yeah.
gets a little car and now it's even harder. I mean, I could give you a list of great Christmas albums, um but yeah, it's kind of hard. So there was a golden period with that.
Oh, this is the golden age. So we're going from being the Canterbury scene, the Canterbury scene to King Crimson, the equivalent,
But
Mr. Perry
yeah,
Como.
uh, dude, we have the equivalent of In the Court of the Crimson King, Harry
Right now.
Cuomo, King Crimson.
Our
He's
brains are stuck. I'm sorry, folks. Our brains are stuck on prog rock.
oh,
But, Pat,
as an aside, prog rock has its Christmas song closer to the heart. Rush wrote it. Just
oh,
saying.
definitely. Yeah,
They
yeah,
had
yeah.
they had those bells, those chime bells.
Yeah,
I mean,
always remind me of Christmas.
that's a
Yeah,
classic Christmas sound. But anyway,
yeah.
yeah. But Perry Cuomo, now that's another. I feel like Perry Cuomo to our listeners nowadays is I think he's forgotten. Like
Oh,
I don't
he's
know if you
totally
would agree
forgotten.
with that, but he was next to I have one of my favorite albums is this great compilation, and let me see if I can put the picture up there.
Yeah,
Um Greatest Christmas songs, but it's on Apple Music now. Everybody go listen to this
yeah,
because he pretty much sets the standard for a lot of what Christmas is gonna sound like. So Bing Crosby's the Canterbury scene.
yeah,
He is the precursor
yeah,
where he sets the bar so high
yeah,
that everybody just tries to match it. I
yeah,
mean, but he's forgotten at the same
yeah,
time, you know?
yeah. You don't hear him that much, like you should. You're gonna hear Johnny Mathis, Nat King Cole, and Bing a little bit more, but Perry Como,
Now,
I mean,
now, now,
you
Cheech,
know.
which album for the arranger, which one are you gonna focus on? Season's Greetings?
Um, I don't know which album I wrote. Let me see. I think it's Perry Como sings Merry Christmas music,
Okay. Okay, that's probably like one of the compilations because he has a lot of them, like
because
a lot.
that came out in well, I'm gonna explain.
And
I'm gonna explain that
and
because it gets tricky. It gets
and,
he
and
he re-recorded it
yeah.
and he put it out as a compilation because
And,
the technology got better.
and who's his rearranger or his arranger?
I gotta find them.
Anyway, go ahead. Yeah, talk.
Yeah.
We're on now.
Let
Perry
me
Como, number
let
two,
me just give you the King Crimson Harry Cuomo comparison.
in the court of the Perry Como.
Yeah. We're out of our minds, viewers. Forgive us. Uh,
I tell
so
you, progressive rock needs to make a comeback. We are
um,
gonna make a progressive rock
we
comeback.
are. We are.
I think it needs to make a comeback. But anyway, Christmas music.
A popular American singer, actor, TV personality, known for his relaxed, easygoing manner and his trademark. What do you think?
Baritone.
No, clothing that he wore.
Oh yeah, yeah. What?
Cardigan sweaters.
Dude, that's another. By the way, that's another pattern with these great singers. Now obviously the cardigan was popular back then, but
Yeah.
Nat King Cole also wears that famous cardigan on the album
Oh
cover.
yeah, yeah. Oh,
His
Nat King
cardigan
Cole.
rocks.
Definitely. Um, he had a career that spanned 6 decades.
Yeah.
Insane. This dude sold over 100 million records worldwide.
Hmm.
Now these guys were killing it back then. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm going through publishing stuff with Visions and ASCAP and stuff. Could you imagine the money this guy made on publishing on Christmas
Yeah.
time? Or
Oh
or
gosh.
or what his family is making from like ASCAP, you know, it's insane. Um he started in the late 1930s, got big in 1940. His big hit that wasn't Christmas was The End of Time in A Bushel and a Peck. Check out those songs. They might sound, corny to modern kids, but they're great, great songs. They're beautiful, beautiful songs. He had his own show, The Perry Como Show, and lasted from 1955 to 1963. He did a lot of Christmas specials. He got popular in the 70s with a hit song called It's Impossible and I Love You So.
Mm.
He won Emmy Awards and he died in 2001 as one of the most successful entertainers of the 20th century, not the 21st century, the 20th century. Just to throw in a prog rock reference there. So imagine
He sounds like the 21st century schizo man of Christmas.
he is. Um, so uh, uh, I'm trying to think. It's a beginning a lot to look like Christmas, Home for the Holidays, Winter Wonderland. The first Christmas album, um, Perry Como sings Merry Christmas Music 1946. Now, this is
Mm.
interesting. It had a couple re-releases. It was released as a as 78 RPM. Back in the day on a record, you had 33, 45, and 78. Okay. I
Mm.
don't know if you remember that. 78.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Do you want a quick refresher for our viewers out there that do not know that?
so you had speeds, okay, RPM. 33 was normal. A 45 was like a little record that you'd put on. And I really a 78 was the size of an album, maybe a little smaller. And I used to play them because my grandparents had a bunch of Glenn Miller and Benny Goodman, uh, Fletcher Henderson records, and I would put it on and be like, "Oh wow, this is bugged out." A 1978, I mean a 78. What is this? And it would sound. Then me and my sister would put it on a 33, and it would sound like Satan is singing. And
Mm.
then you'd put it on a 45, and it would sound like the Chipmunks. So that's what he recorded it on, and he put it out as an album set in 1946. Then they reissued it. So on this album in 46, he had Winter Wonderland, Santa Claus is Coming to Town, Old Little Town of Bethlehem, White Christmas. He re-recorded it, I believe in 1956 because technology got better
Mm.
and everything went from 78s to 33s. So he added more Christmas songs. He added 8 new Christmas songs. The night before Christmas, God rest ye merry gentlemen, joy to the world, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, Frosty the Snowman, Merry Christmas to you. So he took the old one and he combined it with modern technology. So you don't have to have nobody had 78s anymore. By the time 1955 came around,
Mm.
everyone was playing 33. So to be hip and modern, like going analog to digital, that's what he did. And he added more songs to it. This is considered the greatest He is considered one of the greatest singers of his generation for his warm, velvety voice. He creates a sense of nostalgia, comfort, tradition, and he has lush, I love this word, lush arrangements with heartfelt performances.
Yeah, and I will say, just listen to his version of There Is No Christmas Like a Home Christmas. That song I love so much because the way he sings it. Like,
Okay,
you
yeah,
know, like there's no Christmas like a home Christmas with your dad and mother, sis and brother there with their hearts humming. Like, and his singing is immaculate. Like it, it's very different from Bing's, where his
yeah, yeah.
singing is it's not baritone. It's warm.
It's
Like
warm
it's
and it
great.
has that what did I velvety. It's velvety, if that makes sense, you know?
Dude, I love that description. And his other, there's no place like home for Christmas. I mean, the way he sings it is so good. It's probably one of the best versions. Like I don't,
Oh yeah.
he makes a lot of standards that are hard to replicate.
Oh yeah. He has nostalgic charm, invoking powerful sense of nostalgia and tradition. Now, his arrangements feature rich orchestral arrangements, um, and it fills up the sound. It has a full sound. This
Yeah,
guy took, you know, what am I saying here? This guy took Bing Cosby and he took it next level with
yeah,
arrangements. His arranger is Nick Peritto and Michael Arias. They arranged and conducted for him, and they brought the background music to life. They are very important to the music and made it a groundbreaking album. So these two guys who arranged it, they made it a fatter, fuller sound
no, and you
than
hear it.
Bing, you
You
know.
hear it because Bing, if you listen to Bing's 1945 classic, now the only thing I will say, the sound might be weird to some listeners because it sounds old, which is great.
Yeah.
Now, Perry Cuomo, if you listen to his stuff, it updates everything to the
Yeah.
point where it sounds like a modern Christmas album. And like he sets the standard and you hear it. Like
Oh
a
yeah.
lot of a lot of it now, that old, it's actually what's remarkable about Bing's White Christmas album, you hear the scratch, the record scratch, and you hear all these like little sounds.
Oh yeah.
Now
Yeah.
with Perry Cuomo, now it sounds fuller. It sounds more cinematic. Like
Well, you gotta remember too, technology got better. So
no,
now what year are we in now? The
no,
50s, I said?
I would say we're going from 47, 59. We're still in this gold the 50s.
Yeah, so Bing, it was probably a two-track recording.
Hmm.
Now we're adding more to a four-track recording. Imagine that, a four-track recording, a full orchestra. And we were just recording, you were asking me about my recording experience. I didn't even get into tracks. It was always 16, 24 tracks. The Beatles were dealing with four tracks. Wasn't until the late 60s when eight tracks were coming
Mm.
around and 16 tracks. And like and for instance on a Rush album, Neil would take up 16 tracks of the
Well,
drums.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
in the Christmas album world. Like he represents the next leap. Now,
Yeah.
and again, there's something special about the old record stuff from the 30s, 40s.
Yeah.
For all of viewers out there, don't be turned off. Like, listen to it because they are relics and actual historical, like, artifacts to hear the recordings of the day. And it's great because then by Perry Cuomo, like by the time he comes, he's now responsible for like pushing. He's like the King Crimson in the court
Yeah.
of the
Oh yeah.
Crimson King in the Prague world, little Prague world,
And
Prague
there's an
Prague joke.
art. There's an art to like to the sound of it. It's warm. It has that warm sound. So like Manny said, don't be turned off to it. It's just the way the engineers recorded it and what they had available to them. They didn't have modern technology. Now it's going to sound better. It's remastered and
But the problem is that now these modern Christmas albums, they don't sound timeless.
No, but I
Like,
mean the Bing Cosby. If they remastered it, it's going to
oh,
be a
they did,
little.
or no, they did already. You still hear the 1945 sound, which is
Yeah,
great.
it's a
But
little bit more crisper
oh yeah, of
and
course, of course, of course.
compressed and stuff.
But but it's crazy because you listen to like um it's beginning to look a lot like Christmas, like Bing's version.
Yeah,
It sounds like the 40s, which is great. Like, it's nothing against the album. But then you listen to Cuomo's version and he updates everything sound wise. Like,
yeah, yeah.
and now we leave the baritone into more that Andy Williams is obviously gonna also
Oh
later
yeah, yeah.
gonna also do that warm kind of like, you know, we go from like things like it's beginning to look a lot like you say to his version. And by the way, he adds choirs too, the Christmas backup singers. Like
Oh
Vink
yeah,
was
yeah,
already starting to do it.
yeah.
But you have these great women vocals. It's beginning to look a lot
Yeah.
like everywhere you go. Like
And
and
that's all the arrangers bringing that in.
yes,
They're,
yes.
they're arranging those women they probably bring in a vocal arranger for that to arrange those parts.
No,
So
no, and there's no place like home. It begins with a nice, nice little like trumpet sound.
yeah,
It's great. And um, actually, let me see if I can put a sample. So, can you hear this? Can you hear it?
no,
You hear it?
yep,
And he's going back to the trumpet. It sounds like New York Christmas, like
yeah.
that Times Square. Like anyone goes to Times Square, they'll blast that song and it sounds like New York, which
Oh
is
yeah, it gives it that sound that that's the beauty of this. You know what I mean? Like it's an auditory dream.
yeah,
It's going into your ears and it's creating a mystical illusion in your head.
yeah,
It's Christmas. The music is doing this as much as the vocals.
yeah,
And this
yeah.
is what people don't get. People just hear the vocals and they're not thinking about
No,
the
no,
lush arrangements, the choirs, the choruses, the bells, the chimes, the drums, the percussion. That the arrangers get full credit on this, and this is a part of the show that I want to really push. Without these arrangers, I don't think the songs would be as great as they are, in my honest opinion.
no. And that's why if you listen to any, and again, I'm not saying like the modern stuff is bad. I'm not saying that at all. But the timelessness is lost.
Yeah,
Like you just it's like, you know, the arrangers were so responsible for creating the auditory magic. Now,
yeah,
nowadays, you have producers, and sometimes the artists themselves do everything where they produce everything.
yeah.
Um, but no one really does arranging anymore as it
No,
was, which
arranging is a
is
lost art. I
which is
mean,
so sad.
Uh, uh, when I was in college, it was mandatory. If you're a music major, you had to take an arranging class. You had to take a counterpoint class. In our final paper, we had to write. You had to arrange for a small group, and my teacher was an arranger for like NBC Orchestra back in the day. Like he would arrange for them. And like I said, when I would write my arrangements, I mean, I only arranged by mouth or showing the guys in the band, go to a C, then go to a D, go to a G, and we got the bridge. This is writing for French horn, piano. I was even writing for harpsichord, and it sounded bad. I mean, like I because like I I can hear a song and play it on the bass. That's a lost art. And another thing is transcription. Listening to Charlie Parker, Donna Lee, that solo, and writing it out on paper, taking it like what Salieri was doing
Mm,
when Mozart was dying. and he's like doing this whole thing in the brass section, and Salieri's like, slow down, he's transcribing for Mozart what Mozart's hearing in his head. Um, and it's like music dictation, which was something that I was never really good at. And arranging,
Right.
I suck. Traditional arranging, I was god awful.
Well, it's difficult. And actually, it's funny how I love what you said that people don't listen to the music. Now, you and I, we listen.
Yeah,
So that's why we say that most modern Christmas music kind of sucks because
I think it does.
it sounds so generic and they even add like fake like jingle bells. It doesn't sound real sometimes. Like you hear it.
Like, just think about this. I was listening to in the temple Johnny Mathis, uh, dun, 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 and
And
somebody
you
was
hear, you know what you hear? The strings plucking.
yep,
Like you hear it. It's
yeah,
beautiful.
but somebody was shaking a bell, jinga 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 jinga
Yeah.
jinga jing. Now, there's no Pro Tools. If that motherfucker fucked up, this guy had to stand there for with his arm probably getting carpal tunnel in time. Ding jinga 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 jing 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 jing. Going on. You know how hard that is, and you're doing only on 4 tracks. So it's a difficult thing. These people were so talented, and to be in
Yeah.
that orchestra, like that you had to
Oh,
be superior
oh,
musician.
you talk about you saying like you have to be able to hear music, transcribe it, and
Yeah,
that there, yeah.
I
Usually it
get
would be like the composer and their orchestra.
Yeah. I get inspired by watching. I follow Juilliard on Instagram, and I watch, the students and the kids and the teachers. These people are geniuses, man, to go to Juilliard now. They're still out there. I mean, it's not a mainstream thing, but there's a lot of great, amazing classical musicians out there, and there will be forever, just like jazz musicians. Not in
Hmm.
the mainstream. People don't give a shit. There's not an Isaac Perlman or an Eric Bell. These are violinists
No,
that were on Johnny Carson or Yo-Yo Ma. There's not even a Yo-Yo Ma we know about. Like, Yo-Yo Ma was everywhere. He was on the Muppet Show. You know, there's not even a guy like that anymore. A cellist like Yo-Yo Ma. It's just sad. So let me see. What do I got? Any more on Perry Como? Or we move along to the next
move
great.
along.
So we went from Canterbury,
Oh, there's no place like home for the holiday. And now where are we heading? We're leaving in the court of the Harry Cuomo. Heading
and
to?
I think we're gonna head to. This is tough. Is Nat King Cole yes, or is Johnny Mathis ELP?
Dude, that's hard because both set the dude, they're like time signatures and like
I
and
mean,
instrumentation.
I'm gonna
Now,
equate.
Cheese, let me tell you, you having more years of wisdom in life. Who's the greatest? Johnny Mathis or Nat King Cole? What do you think?
For me, I gotta be brutally honest. Johnny Mathis.
I am gonna say Johnny Mathis. And
Mhm.
that's hard because that's like picking between Emerson Lake and Palmer, yes. Um and for me, Genesis. I mean, I'm always gonna pick
Yeah.
Genesis, but I wouldn't even know who to pick.
All I'm gonna say is Joe Silkman is gonna laugh at this episode. I guess.
Dude, who's the Genesis of like Christmas singers and albums? Like Andy Williams,
Andy
Andy
Williams.
Williams.
Fucking Andy Williams. I'm just gonna
All
say
right,
Andy Williams.
all right, ready. ELP is Mathis. Yes is
Yeah.
King,
Yep.
and Genesis is Andy Williams.
Yep. Perry Como is the
Oh,
Canterbury scene. I mean,
act
Crimson in Bing Cosby is the Canterbury scene.
is the Canterbury
Caravan.
scene.
He's Caravan or Soft Parade.
Yo, who's the two of their bells of Christmas music, man?
Imagine. I wonder if Oldfield did a Christmas album.
I'm shocked he didn't. I mean, maybe he was too into the avant-garde.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised because the dude, I know this is odd, but Tubular Bells kind of sounds Christmassy.
It does. It had there's sections in it with because the bells are in it and stuff. But we'll jump to yes. Nat King Cole. Now, Nat King Cole is it's sad. It's kind of sad a little bit. He's known for his Christmas stuff.
And I'm gonna beat you two if you don't mind,
No
but
problem.
that's not the story of Nat King Cole
No,
because, dude, I saw. Oh man, first of all, performer, singer, dude,
God,
his
entertainer.
ver his version of um uh
Mona Lisa.
oh dude Love, Love, which is one of the best love songs. I mean,
Oh
you
yeah,
sing that.
yeah.
And his version of Just the Way You Look Tonight. Dude,
Oh
he has
God,
this
yeah, yeah.
live version that, in my, it's kind of funny. Like, what would you think about this one, Cheech? Sinatra or Cole King?
Oh
Who's the
no, no,
best one?
nobody could touch Frank Sinatra. I'm Italian. I don't want to get beat up.
But I will say,
The
I mean,
chairman of the board. The
the
chairman of the
chairman
board.
of the board is probably watching Nat King Cole very carefully because
Oh, he's
his,
studying Nat King
his
Cole.
and pianist. Oh my goodness. Like, dude, this guy, before he blew up in his Christmas days, was leading his own band, the Nat King
Yeah,
Cole Trio. I love his arrangements and I love jazz. And the older
yeah.
I get, the more I love his his
The sad thing is he has all these great songs. Mona Lisa, and then he does a Christmas album, and he's
and that's it.
he's
That's it.
popularized
And,
as a Christmas guy, and
and,
he's not a fucking Christmas guy. He's
no.
a jazz. The guy plays piano like a beast.
Oh, dude, his
He's a
jazzy piano player.
he's a
Yeah.
great in the Nat King
He
trio. They're
he
like
played
Rush.
the the melodica, right, Cheech? The little piano
Yeah,
with the
yeah, yeah.
live. He starts playing around with the melodica.
The
And
guy was a
I'm like,
genius.
dude, this guy, man. And on top of that, one of the most it's funny because we said so we go from baritone, like being, I'm dreaming like that to Cuomo, oh, there's no like that nice
Yeah, yeah.
mask to smooth, seductive.
Velvety.
I mean,
Velvety.
dude, Nat King Cole, man, like even his Christmas album, put that to the side. Like his voice is just I don't even know how to describe it. Like
Suave. The man is
dude,
suave.
suave. Like that's the best way I can describe it. And he has a song Love. L. It's for the way you like. He knows how to kind of
Oh,
like pull you in.
yeah.
Like
He had a
it's great.
swag. He had a swag to him. He was
And
genius.
dude,
Genius.
and add that to Christmas, dude. It's not a surprise that that this album became
Well,
him.
well, I think this is just a theory. He was successful and he was making money. I'm gonna get to him, his whole thing. He was in the Nat King Cole trio. That's how he came up. 40s, 50s. He split, he went solo, Mona Lisa, Love. But where was the money? Where was the big bucks at this time?
That
Christmas music.
that's a great point. And you know what's shocking? I saw that the album was released like in 1963, 64. Now,
No, 1960.
okay. Oh, that's even still crazy because by that point, um, rock and roll was on the horizon.
Yeah.
So already that style, like Frank Sinatra and
It
Mathis,
was on its way out.
it was, and man, in a few years, the British invasion is gonna
What
blow to the point
well
where
well
Frank Sinatra.
not only rock, but now Motown is coming up.
Oh, that's another story.
So
But
you
I just
you
feel
know,
that, but in my opinion, just from my analyzation, is the rock music put an axe to all that. Even though Motown was surviving, and that, in my opinion, I think there was a Motown explosion in the '70s. But by this point, it's funny because the British invasion is like the punk axe or grunge axe, where
yeah,
Frank Sinatra struggled. A lot of the old singers, even jazz musicians, struggle a little bit. And Miles Davis found that he needed to incorporate rock elements. So in
yeah,
60,
which is true.
but Christmas music was lucrative. Like that
Yeah.
was the one area, kind of funny enough, where people were buying like crazy, like at
These
Christmas time.
guys, they don't even have to gig that much. They would make
No,
royalties off of
dude, they would
Christmas
just
money.
do one Christmas show and
Yeah.
call it a day.
I know. But it's funny when you said Motown. Motown had like two movements. They had the '60s movement in Detroit, all the
Yeah,
way up to the late '60s. Then they went to LA, and then their sound got more '70s and funky.
yeah.
Um, but I would say the Beatles were like punk coming out. The British invasion was like punk rock.
And it's ironic because the Beatles love Motown and we're trying to copy Motown on a lot of their rock records, which is fascinating. But
And
it's funny how you said Motown because that had
yeah,
the influence, which was already taken over from um the your Sinatras, because they were
yeah.
major, your Bings, Andy Williams's,
Eugene,
Mathis's.
Eugene Martin's,
Yes.
yeah,
And it's funny, the only area where they still found success was movies, but it is kind of sad because, and it makes sense why a lot of them did Christmas albums. It makes
yeah.
total sense because by this point, yeah, the Beatles being the punk of their day, dude, when they released I Want to Hold Your Hand, it was over.
Well, jazz didn't suffer because in the '60s, jazz moved from, like the big band swing to cool jazz,
Yep.
you know, and Miles Davis, kind of blue came out. Then it moved up into like Coltrane, where it started to get real nuts, giant steps. And then that morphed into fusion. So jazz was very popular at this point. The music that suffered the most, and we're gonna do a show on this, is doo-wop.
Oh yeah. Oh,
You
by the way,
know,
I forgot about Frankie Valli, like all those
yeah.
rock and
Little
roll,
Anthony and the
all,
Imperials,
all,
Dion,
all the
Frankie
doo-wops.
Lyman, all the doo-wop singers, and I was talking to my dad about this, and my dad said he'll make a guest appearance when we do the doo-wop show. Um, Doo-wop had a short window, and then
Very
once
short,
the
very short.
British invasion came out, it destroyed a art form that I think doo-wop is one of the best forms of music. I grew up.
Mhm.
That's the
Eh,
first music I ever heard in my
no,
life was doo-wop music.
no, and once again, it's funny because the Beatles were incorporating that into their early music.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
at on the top that they being loving doo-wop and Motown, at the same time they were like the punk acts where
yeah,
it's weird. They were killing a lot of careers, but they were
yeah,
incorporating those sounds that they loved. So
yeah.
that it wasn't their intention to do that, but
No, they
that's the
just
way it
were.
happened.
The Beatles were at the right place at the right time,
And,
and they had the talent beyond
and by the
God.
way, they didn't need to do a Christmas album. They I
Oh
did
no,
I think they did one Christmas song for like a BBC radio special, but
yeah, I
dude,
would love to hear
because I
that.
because the rockers like it's actually fascinating. Elvis made a Christmas album, which is
Oh yeah,
fascinating
yeah,
in
yeah,
itself. The Beach Boys, they made a Christmas album, but
yeah.
most of the rockers of the 1960s, they wouldn't touch that anything
No,
because it was not cool.
no,
Like
no. It was only cool for the like old farts. You know what I mean? Like the
it was
not the
funny,
next.
dude. Dude, as an aside, David Bowie said the reason why he sang with Bing was because it would made his mother happy because she was a huge fan. Otherwise,
That,
he wouldn't have done it, which is what you just said.
wow.
Yeah, he went on record. Uh,
That's
uh,
funny.
no, and he has respect for Bing, but the
Oh, of
only re
course. Yeah.
the only reason why he agreed to it because it made his mother so happy, and he wanted to make his mom happy because she
Yeah.
loved Bing,
And
and that's why he appeared.
that's such a great song. Oh my God. But let me jump into Nat. Nat King Cole, American jazz pianist, vocalist, actor, rose to fame in the 40s and 50s, was in the Nat King Cole trio. Please go out and listen to that. Go out, fans, viewers, you will be blown away. They're like Rush of jazz. Nat King Cole is a killer pianist,
Yeah,
not
he's
just a
really
great,
good.
not just a great Christmas singer. I got to promote that. Um, he went solo and he had hits with Unforgettable, Mona Lisa. Now he had his own show. So to be at that time he was African American man successful with his own TV show. The guy's an
Hmm.
innovator, a massive innovator, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, and he has the most famous Christmas song, the Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting. That
That's and
that's
he was the first to sing and standardize that song.
Yeah, and that's Mel Torme. And to me, that might very well be the greatest, next to White Christmas. That's the greatest Christmas song ever, in my
Uh,
opinion.
just let me know if you can hear this.
Not really.
Ding, ding, ding. Chestnuts roasting on an open fire.
Yeah.
Yeah, just that. Look at the strings and that note. That's the arranger. I mean,
Oh yeah. Oh, I'm gonna get to that guy. Yeah.
and by the way, it's crazy because he himself was a leader of a small jazz trio, so he knew a thing or two about it. But
Oh, he knew
he
about arranging. Yeah, yeah,
he
definitely.
he had to rely on the arranger. So of this,
Yeah. What
famous
a
I don't know if you
what
can
a
see
what a
it. There he
yeah,
is.
what a cover. What a great cover. Amazing. Um, The Magic of Christmas, 1960. Key tracks. The Christmas song. My second favorite one, O Tannenbaum.
Oh, dude, it's funny. I his version, I love his version. Just first that he sings in German, which is
Yeah.
so great, and the arrangement. Dude, I literally feel like it. The feelings that it invokes is like warm fire, the warm lights of the Christmas tree, and you hear his voice, oh Tannenbaum. Even
And
I
then
learned
the,
German.
then the
Oh
passion,
Tannenbaum.
how high it gets,
Oh,
how you guys are
dude.
genius. Deck the Halls, Silent Night, just some of the hits on the album. His smooth baritone voice described as velvet warm, pure tone. He sang jazz ballads and pop, pure and precise. He was on Capitol Records, 1960, when The Magic of Christmas came out. Very important person. And we're going to get into the people that made this happen. Lee Gillette, he is the producer, and so is Stan Kenton. Jimmy, the guy who, I'm sorry, I said that wrong. Lee Gillette is the producer. He produced a guy named Jimmy Wackel, a guy named Victor Moan, and Dean Martin. So, Lee Gillette was the producer. He's like the Martin Birch. He's a Terry Brown, he's the dude. Lee Gillette is producing your album. You got a hit right there.
Oh,
He was the shit. He was Martin Birch of, we always got to go
mhm.
back to the rock guys. He was the Eddie Oxford, the Yeses producer. um,
He's like the Mutt Lang.
yeah, yeah. Mutt
Hits,
Lang.
hits upon hits.
He was the Mutt Lang for Nat King Cole on the Christmas album. His lush orchestrations and arrangements, blended classic Christmas carols with sophisticated festive mood.
No, and he just took things to, and this is 1960. He just took things to so we're going through the Prague version evolution here. We go to Roundabout, Close to the Edge. Dude, this
Exactly.
guy on one album, first of all, his singing. Dude, I'll be honest with you, I want to die with this album. Like, if there's five
Yeah,
albums that I want to die with, like
yeah.
this one is the one that I want to hear before like done.
It's
And
genius.
the choice of songs, oh my goodness, he combines the religious with the secular in such a
Yeah,
way that it's remarkable. Like he goes from, deck the halls up all the morning, fa la 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 la, and it's
yeah.
not corny. It's actually great.
It's
And the
genius.
arrangement is so Christmassy.
Oh
And
yeah.
then he goes to "O Little Town of Bethlehem," which is one of my
Oh my
favorites.
God, I love
"O
that. Yeah,
little town of Bethlehem, how still do we see thee lie?
yeah.
Across I heave." Dude, oh my goodness. Like, and then "Away in a Manger," hark the herald angels sing. Oh Holy Night, perhaps one of the best versions.
Yeah,
Maybe his rival is Johnny Mathis. So these albums are so similar. It's like comparing Close to the Edge versus Emerson Lake and Palmer's first record. I mean,
exactly.
dude, it doesn't get better than this. And every
What would you take on a desert island if you had one? Yes,
dude, I
Emerson, Lake and
a-
Palmer, Nat King
and
Cole, or Johnny Mathis.
and dude, and you have the iconic Christmas albums. Johnny Mathis has a nice snow skiing
Yeah,
suit.
we could debate. We could debate over album covers too, which is a better
Oh
album cover
gosh.
because they're
Uh,
both. I don't think you could because they're both genius. They're both.
both are just, I mean, and the arrangements. I mean, I'll be honest with you, the Christmas song album sounds like Christmas. It's so remarkable.
Yeah.
Like
Well,
it's such an achievement.
check this out. I'm going to get into his arranger. And this is why I can't stop emphasizing the importance of the arranger on the Christmas album. Without a good arranger, you don't have a genius Christmas album. As good
Mhm.
as Nat King Cole is, songs are, you can sing them a cappella, they're going to sound great. But without this guy, Ralph Carmichael, he did the arrangement. He arranged, he conducted, he orchestrated, all the choral parts. He made the Christmas songs much fuller than the past arrangements of the songs. Um, and this guy also, Ralph Carmichael, he arranged for jazz people, Ella Fitzgerald, Bing Crosby, Peggy Lee, and check this shit out. He wrote one of the greatest 1950s songs from a show. He wrote the I Love Lucy theme. Like, that theme, is amazing.
Hmm. Hmm.
So this guy was no joke. So in the 50s, going into the 60s, he was the dude for you called this dude, Ralph Carmichael, to arrange for you. He was the guy. Um, and on Nat's album, I got to talk about the musicians because he had extra besides the orchestra. I can't name all the orchestra people. It'd take
Hmm.
forever. But Nat King Cole had not only orchestra, but he had a guy named on piano on guitar John Collins, on piano Milton Raskin, on bass Lloyd Lubin, on drums Lee Young. He also had cello, harps, trumpets, trombone, reeds, and that's where Ralph Carmichael would arrange all that stuff. So
Hmm.
once again, I can't stop emphasizing how the producer and the arranger made these albums come to life. Now, are you seeing a common theme here from Bing to Parry to Nat? What's happening is the songs, the production is getting better and better and bigger
Yeah.
and bigger.
Well, it's funny because I think it reaches a pinnacle with this and Mathis. I think, and
This
then
is it.
the rest just try to compare to it. And by the way, we haven't even mentioned Dean Martin's Christmas album,
No.
Frank Sinatra, because at this point there's such competition.
Oh,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
even the Beach Boys rock gets on the bandwagon with the
Oh,
Beach
of
Boys
course.
Christmas
Yeah.
album, which classic. Elvis makes the first rock,
Oh, White
you
Chris,
know, uh,
Blue Christmas. Yeah.
Blue Christmas. So at this point, we're in a sea of already classics. It would be so hard to pick, and already set the standard by Bing.
Yeah.
So you reach the mountain with this. I think
Yeah.
this is the one of the pinnacles.
It's growth. It's almost like going from, the 50s, Elvis, Jerry Lee Lewis, Little Richard, right? Then the Beatles come out, and then they have Sergeant. They go from like the White Album, Revolver, to Sergeant Pepper's. That's the production. How amazing that is. Then you get into the 70s, and you get into like Steely Dan, Asia. You know, this is we're on an Asia level right now for Christmas music on production.
Hmm.
You know, so the recording industry is changing, equipment's getting better, mics are getting better, 2 tracks are going to 4 tracks. In the 60s, they're still recording on 4 tracks, but somehow the sound's getting fuller and it's getting more crisper. So I'm
Hmm.
thinking mastering got better. How they
Hmm.
mastered albums
Hmm.
must have improved because
Of
they still
course.
had they had 4 tracks, and I think it was the mastering houses that made everything crisper and clean.
Mm.
Because
Hmm.
this sounds so much more clear than Bing Crosby's album.
Right.
That was
Right.
20, and that's only 20 years later, you
Hmm.
know. But look how it evolved. And the music industry is brand new. This, you had Robert Johnson singing to a microphone with an acoustic guitar in 1930, and now you have Nat King Cole, and it's like a giant production. Everything is clean, everything is crisp, you know. So please, you know, check out Ralph Carmichael, appreciate him. And he wrote the theme for I Love Lucy as an arranger and a
That's pretty
writer.
cool.
Yeah, I thought you'd get a kick
Uh,
out of that.
uh, and to before we're gonna head to Mathis, right?
Yeah.
And
And
then like as he sings, although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to
oh yeah,
you.
Genius, you know. But check out The Magic of Christmas by Mr. Nat King Cole. You know, one of the it's hard to say what's better, Johnny Mathis or Nat King Cole.
It's hard, yeah. That would be like, you know, and it's crazy because where do we go? So we have Yes is close to the edge. Where do we go from here? Like, dude, you created one of the most epics, and then Johnny Mathis comes out and dude, let's talk about Mathis, the legendary. And by the way, I love and you know Mathis is fascinating because he released a Christmas album in the '80s, which I love. Um, I love it. That being said, like it's '80s production, which is
Yeah,
fascinating, and there's definitely an arranger because the album it sounds great. Like
yeah,
it was released in 1986,
yeah.
and but you definitely hear that um
Oh yeah,
you know that
Rangers are still there. Excuse me. Rangers are still there. They never like
now
Rangers never went away. They're
that
just not a thing anymore, you know?
and dude, it's fascinating because Merry Christmas by Johnny Mathis was released in 1958. So we were talking about 2 years before. Um, Nat releases his 1960 album.
Right. Do I have
So
1958 on this?
58.
Yep, you're right. Wow. Okay.
So he beats Nat because he recorded the Christmas songs.
Yeah, I'm a little bit
Chestnut.
I'm out of my order on that. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
all good
So
though. All good. But Mathis again, like I have iconic album cover. He's
greatest
right. It's great.
greatest album next to Iron Maiden's first album. Yeah.
Dude, this guy now we're talking about. He definitely is the ELP.
Greatest album cover next to 2112.
My
Honestly.
boy. We got my boy Keith Emerson, Nat King Cole, and we got him, Greg Lake over here. Like
You know,
man,
it's
dude.
amazing.
I mean, hopefully you can just look at this. Look, and then his voice.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. Yeah,
Are
Slaves on
you
Train.
listening? Like he has that great angelic voice, like
Yeah.
da, da, da,
Yes.
da,
Well,
da, da, da.
he was a balladeer. That was
Yep.
his thing. So I'll dive into Mr. Mathis, an American singer known for his romantic ballads. So you want to get some leg tonight in 1958, you put some Johnny Mathis on. You get a bottle of wine, you will get some leg tonight,
Yeah,
to quote the
Rob,
great David
you
Lee
get
Roth.
some luck tonight. Cut it out, Dave. One break coming out. Damn, man.
You will
Yo,
get some leg.
dude. Dun, 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 dun.
Yeah.
Dude, Robbie should do something like that. Like, kind of do an ad lib like that. It'd be
Oh, I
great.
know.
Yo, Cheech, you're gonna get some luck tonight.
I'm telling you, man, you young ones out there, put down the Kendrick Lamar
Yo,
and
seriously.
go and put some Johnny Mathis. I'm trying to think of put on Wonderful. No, put Chances Are on by Johnny Mathis. Get a bottle of wine, get your girl, go to Holiday Inn, you know, What's the name of the Christmas movie? Holiday? Is it Holiday Inn?
Holiday Inn, Holiday Inn.
Play. Chances are you will get some leg
Like
tonight.
tonight.
Most definitely.
Oh,
Johnny
without
Mac.
a doubt. And by the way, for all the DJs out there, sample this album.
Oh, come on,
Yo,
man. You have
you're gonna get the ladies up and dancing.
definitely, you know. So anyway, American singer known for his romantic ballads, jazz and Broadway standards with hits. Chances are Misty, which is an old standard, which I played many times, is from the, it's in the Real Book, which is a famous jazz book. I've played that many times with jazz bands. Now, this cat has sold over 80 million records. 80 fucking million records.
That's insane.
Nobody does that. I mean, Boston sold 20 million on their debut. It's
Hmm.
probably up now. Boston's up probably up to 80, but like 80 million records.
That's
That's
insane.
insanity. And the funny story, I could be wrong, but I always remember my uncle, God rest his soul, Anthony, and my Aunt Antoinette said they were on their honeymoon and they went, I don't know, to Vegas and they saw Johnny Mathis. And before Johnny Mathis, Don Rickles opened the show. Could you imagine that? You go from Rickles,
To
the
like,
man, the guy of shock humor, the guy
yeah,
who started
right.
it all.
To probably one of the most wholesome singers on the planet.
Exactly. I love that. Um, he won a Lifetime Achievement Award from the Recording Academy and was this is cool, was the longest signed artist on Columbia Records.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
was,
I believe that. Yeah.
he's a famous romantic balladeer. He signed to Columbia in 1956. His hits were Wonderful, Wonderful. Oh, and this is a good one. It's Not For Me to Say. You know that song, It's Not For Me to Say?
No, no.
Oh, that song's beautiful. I'm telling you, chances are you'll get some leg. I'm telling you guys,
Yeah, I'm telling you guys, Johnny Mathis is key.
fat chicks, and chances are you're gonna get some leg
You'll get some leg tonight.
for sure. Uh, um, and this dude started a greatest hits album. Before Johnny Mathis, there was no greatest hits album. No band
Hmm.
ever had a greatest. So
I
his
didn't even
label
know that.
Columbia
So
said,
I didn't even know that.
"Let's put out a greatest hits album," and he did that. Greatest hits. Um, what else do I got? Um, the first greatest hits album, and the greatest hits album spent like, is this, did I write this right? Like 4 years in the charts, some crazy
That sounds right.
number like that, you know. His voice is smooth, warm, and enduring tenor voice. He can seamlessly hit high notes and low notes, romantic and emotional voice.
I think that's the best way to describe it. So we go from like seductive, velvety to probably, and I would say like romantic, angelic, where and he hits that vibrato, which
Oh yeah.
it's all of these songs on this album, like Winter Wonderland, the Christmas song, Sleigh Ride, Blue Christmas, I'll Be Home for Christmas, White Christmas, Oh Holy
Yeah.
Night, What Child Is This, The First Noel, Silver Bells, which is one of my favorite
Oh
versions.
yeah, yeah.
It Came Upon the Midnight Clear, also one of my favorite versions. And then his version of Silent Night, Holy Night,
Amazing.
you hear it, it's so full of wide-eyed romanticism.
I,
Like
I'm gonna
it,
I'm gonna go with Johnny Mathis as my favorite all-time Christmas album. I,
right now
I,
it's top.
I love Nat King Cole, but I gotta go because I grew up with that. That was played. When I hear that, I go back to 5-year-old Cheech, me and my sister
Yeah.
running around,
Well,
putting up the
there's a
tree.
there's a when you put on the album, there's something of childhood and innocence about it,
Yeah,
where it's a time when the Christmas album reigns supreme. And talk about like, just some of the songs are great because it's a mix of like the new secular stuff, which is already
Yeah,
on the
yeah,
rise,
yeah.
with the religious. For example, his version of "Oh Holy Night" is one of the greatest. Like,
Oh,
um,
genius.
and the way he sings it is like you can hear him sing it like in Bethlehem, and it's
Yeah.
great because you can hear it. He sets the tone, the music. I mean, look at this. Hopefully, you can hear it. Hopefully, look, look, Christmas in a nutshell. Oh Holy Night, and you hear the bells in the back.
Yeah.
Holy night, like, and
Oh,
it's just, dude, it's like dying and going to heaven. I
yeah.
mean, it
Genius.
doesn't get better than that.
I mean, yeah, you said it. You said all the Winter Wonderland, the Christmas song, Sleigh Ride, Blue Christmas, I'll Be Home for Christmas. I love that one.
Oh, his and
Um,
the way he starts that song, I'm dreaming tonight of a like,
oh, what about this one? It Came Upon a Midnight Clear.
that's one of my favorite versions. It
Yeah.
came upon, and his voice, it's like
Oh man.
it's sugar. It's like I don't even know how to describe it. Angelic, like he
Yeah.
sets the standard,
He
and
really does.
well, everything that Perry Cuomo started, he's like the freaking Greg Lake. He perfects everything.
Yeah,
Nat
yeah.
King Cole, what Bing started with that, I'm dreaming.
Yeah.
He perfects with this suave, like,
And this
it's
is an 18-year, 20-year gap.
yeah,
How it changes, you know.
yep,
So
yep.
I love how we did the progression of Bing, Perry, I skipped it, Johnny Mathis and Nat King Cole, how it evolves. It evolves into perfection. Johnny Mathis' Christmas album is perfection. And I'm gonna get into more of why it's perfection. Um, so it came out. Let me talk a little bit. It's the best-selling Christmas album of all time. At the time it came out, it sold 5 million. I'm sure it's like beyond that now. It was on Columbia Records, 1958. Producer Mitch Miller, most famous album cover of all time. You got to give this guy props. His name is Friedman Abeles. And Percy Faith is the arranger and conductor. I'm going to talk about Percy in a minute. Let's talk about I don't know much about the photographer, but Friedman Abeles, he just captured magic.
Hmm.
I didn't get into photographers too much, but I had to bring up that photographer because that is when you see Johnny Mathis, Christmas, that's Christmas right there.
Hmm.
That's the greatest Christmas album I think of all time. It's the Eddie, it's the 2112. It's all that. It's genius. So we'll get into his arranger, who's very important. Percy Faith. Now,
Yeah.
now he's real famous. Without Percy Faith, you're not gonna get again. Now, Johnny Mathis has it all. He takes Nat King Cole, I think, almost to the next level with all those sounds, the bells and the chimes, the strings. When those strings come in, you hear horses. You freaking hear horses on the album. When on Sleigh Ride. Um, So he brought a lush symphonic orchestra arrangements.
Hmm.
Percy Faith is a sound sculptor. He
Yep.
knows how to sculpt sound. Some of the best orchestrations of all time on this album. Sweeping strings, chiming bells, rich sound, sonic textures. Each song is like a little symphony. He made the song have a huge sound that took the Christmas song to a new level. Um, Percy Faith, he's interesting. He won a Grammy for Record of the Year in 1952 called Delicato. He was a child prodigy, and I had to put this in here. As a kid, he must be from Canada. He played Massey Hall. Now
Mm.
we all know who played Massey Hall and recorded
Yes, sir.
a great live album there called All the World's a Stage.
And adding, and I think Neil Young also recorded a classic live album there too.
Yeah, Massey Hall was one of the
It's
greatest
iconic.
venues to play. Yeah. I actually went to Massey Hall when I was in Canada. I took a
Ooh.
picture of it. I didn't go inside, but it was closed. Um, he also arranged for Percy Heath arranged for Johnny Mathis, Tony Bennett. He wrote a song called My Heart Cries for You, and a guy named Guy Mitchell sang it. He arranged for Vic Damone, who keeps coming up, Connie Francis, and Dinah Shore. Oh, and they also recorded this song on My Heart Cries for You as well. So Percy Faith, man, check out Percy Faith. He is the dude. He's one of the greatest arrangers of all time. I mean, go and if you're a musician, like just study arranging. Get the Paul Hindemith book. Study your theory. Try to write some Bach chorales. I told you I was good at doing the Bach chorales, where you write chords, the one chord, the four chord, the five chord, and you go from like a G, you'll have like a C, E, G, and then you go from the C to the next chord being an E, and it's kind of arranging. I was good at doing chorales, and that would be for vocals, for vocalists to sing. I wasn't good at arranging for instruments. I was horrible.
And
But
think about the towering achievement like Percy on like
oh
the
good
of what they
God.
were able to do. I mean, it's just straight up genius. And
That any arranger, any music arranger is a genius. They're a musical genius because like when I say like a 1 4 5, a C, F, and G, you have to make the root, the third, and the fifth all smoothly go in a direction. You know, there's like parallel fifths, there's a bleed motion, there's all these motions that the notes have to go. I was always good, and I always got yelled at by my teacher doing these baccarels. I would do power chords, and that's a heavy metal thing, a root, a fifth, and an octave. And they'd be like, no, that doesn't sound right. I said, well, listen to freaking Iron Maiden through a distorted guitar. Listen to Motorhead. A power chord sounds right. Yes, but this is Bach. You know, I'd always get that, you know. So, but yeah, I did a lot of studying with choral stuff, arranging, counterpoint. So I got, you know, and I apply that to my bass. I actually do. You know,
mm,
I put that in there. So last I have is just a list of other artists. But before we get there, anything about big the big four.
no.
You know, I recommend, you know, go out and we touched on it last year. But Perry Como, Bing Cosby, Nat, and Johnny Mathis. That's Christmas. Kids, drop the whatever you're listening to, the Mariah Carey, which is great. I like Mariah Carey, but go back to the classics. I think the
Hmm.
classics are more to offer. Mariah Carey did, I think, the last great Christmas song.
She she
I really
she
liked.
was
She's
one of the
got
last standards.
she's got some good arrangements on there too, because Tommy Mottola was doing that, and he's a genius. So I'm just gonna list some other songs to listen to for Christmas. Obviously, Frank Sinatra, around the same time as Johnny Mathis,
Hmm.
1957, a Jolly Christmas. Dean Martin, Winter Romance,
It's
1959.
fantastic.
You know, notice the years here. Now we're
Hmm.
going Nat King Cole 60, Johnny Mathis 58. There was a demand in a market for this stuff.
Hmm.
You know, this is when it peaked after Bing and after Perry. They're like, okay, guys, you guys have a good career. Cash in on the Christmas stuff. The Beach Boys, Christmas album, 1964. Now, here's somebody who embraced the 60s Christmas sound, and I think nobody did this. Phil Spector.
Now, yeah, and he's fascinating because as an arranger, and we don't have time to really go into his album, but
Yeah.
he created one of also one of the greatest Christmas albums, but that wall of sound that was so prominent
Yeah.
in the rock world and the
When you
R&B world.
when you hear Ronnie Spector sing a Christmas song, it's beautiful, you
Hmm.
know. She he had what did he have? He had the Ronettes, Darlene Love, and the Crystals all do the Christmas songs. It's called The Christmas Gift. But he innovated that six after, the Johnny Mathis. I think Phil Spector is the genius of the 60s for making that wall of sound, that Christmas sound.
Hmm.
And I don't think he gets enough credit. I don't think Phil Spector gets enough credit for his Christmas work.
Well,
I mean,
sadly, because of his personal life, I think that tarnished that sadly.
yeah,
But you're right. He's responsible for um even a lot of people list his Christmas album as one of the greatest. Over Mathis, sometimes I've seen over Nat King Cole.
yeah,
Um, as an aside, too, jazz player Vince Giraldi's The Peanuts Christmas album also gets
yeah,
a
yeah,
special shout out. He being a jazz composer and player, but
yeah.
yeah, Phil Spector, man, like he I mean it's hard to argue because he did create you and he was a different kind of producer where
Yes,
he patented the wall of sound,
he
which
did.
was this way of creating of recording and creating this huge sound. Like it's kind
Yeah.
of hard to describe if you don't listen to it.
I
But
don't know
yeah, that
what he did. He did some kind of magic in the studio. Um, Andy Williams, my God, 1963. So Andy
the
Williams, he comes a little bit later. You know, Christmas Portrait, Carpenters, man.
oh dude, that's another level because that's like the 70s and they created
They made the
just
first Prague
oh,
Christmas.
I was gonna say they're the Prague Christmas
What is
album
that song
where
called? Dun, 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 dun.
Bell of the Bells, yeah, and they have
Yeah,
Nutcracker on that. They have
yeah,
dude is like that is Christmas album at this point. Like you have Peak with Mathis, and then
yeah,
everything else is just trying to match that. And Carpenter's
yeah.
almost and
Well,
Karen Carpenter's voice is like the equivalent to Mathis.
Well, you jump many years later because the
Manny,
Carpenters are 78 and they got the 70s analog sound. Prague is still out there. Rock is popular. Elton John put out an amazing Christmas song around that year. So, and Karen Carpenter's voice is just, it brings you to tears. She's beautiful, amazing. Um, how could we forget the Jackson 5, 1970?
hmm
They bring the funk,
yeah,
Santa Claus is coming to
yeah,
town. They bring that whole thing in. Going into the 80s, Do They Know It's Christmas? Band-Aid. I love it. It brings me back to
yeah.
eighth, ninth grade. Talk about Prague, the Siberian Orchestra,
Oh my goodness. The
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
Trans-Siberian Orchestra.
I mean,
Yeah. They're the Carpenters are like Prague Christmas. They are just total
yeah.
on like I was talking to you. I was like, man, someone needs to make like a Prague Christmas album. And then you said Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I'm like, that is right. Yeah,
And,
with their
and people that don't know about them, they come from a band called Sabotage, a real great progressive metal known for their famous album Gutter Ballet, which
right.
already was theatrical and it kind of got this theatrical vibe. So that's what they were going for. And
Yeah.
then, I mean, I'm not going to leave her out because I love her and she's hot. Mariah Carey. Mariah Carey is, All I Want for Christmas Is You. It's I mean, I hate to say it, I'm not a fan. I'm a fan of her voice, and I do like some of her songs because I grew up in the era. Um, I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan of her, but she could hit high notes like friggin' like Jeff Tate, beyond Jeff Tate from
Hmm.
Queensryche. So Mariah Carey always
Yeah.
impressed me. So I
Yeah.
got to give her props. And I stopped there because I don't really feel anything else is worthy on my list of
Mm.
Christmas songs. If you do, please on the comments comment what you think if we missed any. We did hear in the temple, me and Manny did a lot of research and listening with our metal table. We heard songs and we were like, who is that? And you were going on your phone. There's some good modern Christmas songs, but guess
I,
what?
I know a lot of them. Like Nora Jones
Oh, we
released a really
forgot
good
Norris
one.
Jones. Yeah,
She
Norris
released a really
Jones.
good
Yeah,
one, but but
yeah,
very different, very jazzy slash minimal. Which she had an interesting
yeah.
sound. And her vocals do
And
everything.
how can we forget? We're talking about swing and Glenn Miller and what's his name? From the Stray Cats. My brain just
Oh, the Brian,
Brian
you said the
Brian Setzer.
Bellator's.
Br- Brian Setzer. Genius. Genius Christmas stuff. Poor guy. I don't know what happened to him. Joe was talking that he can't play anymore or something. It's really sad. But anyway, man, anything else you want to cover on this Christmas special? I think it was really good. I think
I think
we
uh,
we we got to the most important thing besides the song, which was already
hmm,
written maybe hundreds of years ago. Maybe the songs were written in the 20s and the 30s, or some of them go
hmm,
back to Germany by the monks and stuff, who wrote them, to the amazing singers, Perry Como, you get Nat King Cole, to the Percy, the arrangers, these guys who make it happen. So it's about the arrangers and the producers and the singers putting it all as a package and watching it develop through the years from the 30s, 40s to the 50s, 60s, and it peaks at Nat King Cole, you know. Andy Williams took it to a nice little level, different level in 63. But
hmm,
after that, after Andy Williams, Sinatra was in the 50s, Dean Martin is in the 50s, Andy Williams
hmm.
is in the 60s, and then Phil Spector in the 60s. So I would say in the 50s, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin, Nat King Cole, um, Johnny Mathis. In the 40s, Perry Como, and then in the 60s, Phil Spector and Andy Williams. And then 70s, you know, J- Jackson 5, The Carpenters, 80s, you know, Wham, we forgot the Wham song. That's another great one,
Hmm. The only difference is 280s though. Like that at that point,
Well, once
the
again, it's developing.
I just think it's not, in my opinion, it sounds dated. Like in my opinion, like it's great for,
yeah.
but it sounds dated. Like
Unfortunately, it's developing. It's a downward spiral
no,
development. You know what I
no,
mean?
no. Well, it's not. It's no. I'm not saying like it's bad. It's just compare.
No,
Keyboard
song.
and
I mean, song wise, it's good. Production, arranging wise, it sucks. It's like a Casio keyboard.
oh,
Last Christmas, that's
and no, and it's funny because McCartney kind of started that with "Wonderful Christmas Time."
now that's the '70s, right?
He got like some keyboard and this was like brand new to him and composed simple
Yeah,
keyboard line. Bong, ding, 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 bong, ding, 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 bong, ding. But it's
yeah.
funny. It sounds dated but charming. Also, Last Christmas.
I
But
forgot. Thanks for bringing
um,
that up because I forgot. That's a great one.
yeah.
That's a
But
great
if
one.
you compare that to the timelessness of the old stuff, it just doesn't even stand. Like, and
No,
it's
no.
funny because the true arrangers were your Mozarts, your Bachs, your Stravinskys, your Tchaikovsky. So they
Yeah,
were getting influenced, like the modern arrangers
yeah.
cut their teeth on Bach, on Mozart, like
Oh,
you know what I mean? So
oh,
you hear the
yeah.
influence.
I mean,
Wow,
someone
Wham!
like
No,
Percy
but what's
Heath.
remarkable about Wham, just one thing about George Michael, he did everything on that record. So I don't fault that song too much. George Michael was also a musical genius.
Oh, I think so.
He played the drums, he played every single instrument
Oh,
on
yeah, yeah,
on that song, and
yeah,
it is a classic.
yeah,
Just the
yeah.
fact that he wrote it, which is insane. It's not easy to write a Christmas song without sounding cheesy.
No, no, So there were some good ones in the '80s. Mariah Carey, I think that's the '90s, right? I think,
90s,
yeah.
90s. Where Are
After
You
the,
Christmas and All I Want for Christmas Is You are probably one of the last standards. And
yeah.
ever since then, there's a decline.
Oh,
Um,
yeah.
and I
I mean,
also think,
I'm gonna say they're out there. We heard some good shit at the temple. We
oh,
definitely
dude,
did.
dude, you have, I mean, maybe next year we could do like I can recommend you something like the modern Christmas is there.
Yeah.
Um, Even I would argue Michael Bublé is fantastic.
Oh, most definitely.
He did
Harry Connick Jr.
he did a resurfacing and
Yeah.
rescued a lot of the idea of the Christmas album. But you got a lot. I mean, we had more time next year. We'll probably focus maybe next year. We'll
Oh,
find and on.
next year we'll get more into maybe the modern stuff. I'd have to really research
Oh,
that.
and Andrea
I don't.
Bocelli's Christmas album, dude.
Oh,
He
Noel.
he
Forget it. Forget it.
he made a comeback. He learned from the Nat King Cole and Johnny Mathis, and with his
Yeah.
tenor operatic voice, it's over. And
Noel might be. What year was that? The 90s?
um, well, I'm referring probably he. I know he's been doing a lot of things, but like Christmas wise, but in 2009 he released his album called My Christmas, and every song is immaculate.
But the
Like
song
production.
Noel.
Probably, is that one of his old stuff?
Oh, that song is insane. He hits
Well,
these notes that are just out of like from another universe.
right, for him it's not fair because he's so amazing and um,
And he's
but he
blind.
yeah yeah, but he officially releases a Christmas album in 2009 and it also follows it up by a sequel. But dude, he takes notes from the old classics and
Of
creates
course.
one of the
Yeah.
best ones. I mean,
Yeah.
so they're out there, but you have to. Oh, and there's another one, Josh Groban.
Yes. Yep.
Noel, 2007, also another fantastic one that learns the best from the past and creates magic with his Christmas album. But yeah, it's fascinating because if anything from this episode, the arrangers, the magic, it's just for those people out there that you're thinking of recording a Christmas album, get yourself an arranger, work
Yeah.
magic, and work, get that timeless sound going.
Yeah. The key to Bing, Nat King Cole, Perry Como, Johnny Mathis, um, like Andy Williams, Frank Sinatra, Dean Martin. It's the arrangers and the producers that
Hmm.
filled up the sound with the orchestras that gave them that lush, beautiful sound, bells, chimes, whistles, all that stuff that's in there. And the arrangers are just as important as the song and the singer. People need to realize that. So next time you hear a Christmas song, and you will, in the minute you go to any store, listen for just don't listen to the words. Listen to the background music and
Mm.
think about how much work Percy Heath or whoever sat there for hours on end arranging for orchestra, for chorus.
Hmm.
And then the producer put that together. When you hear a Phil Spector song and you hear the Ronettes singing it, and don't think about Phil Spector being the freak that he was. Think about the genius that he was and how he put that together. You know.
Yeah, he evolved it in the rock world. I think that wall of
Oh,
sound
oh yeah, definitely, and not only for Christmas, but yeah, for other stuff
and
too.
Beach Boys too, similar harmonies
Yeah.
and the
Oh
sound
yeah.
and beautiful in the Christmas album. But
Definitely.
Cheech, man, this was pretty good, man.
Yeah.
Very festive, and I think we
Yeah.
captured a lot of great points for our
Yeah.
listeners out there. And hopefully, we taught you to don't just listen. Honestly, put down the Mariah Carey, put on Mathis, and don't even listen to. And by the way, it's hard because it's voice, but listen to the music.
Yeah.
Let the music speak volumes for you.
Let
And
the music do the talking,
yeah,
And really quick, let's just throw it out there, just a quick debate. Nat King Cole or Johnny Mathis? Who what's the great out of the two? I mean, they're both the greatest in my opinion. They're both greatest. No disrespect to Frankie. I don't the chairman of the board. I don't want to get picked off by Joe Pesci when I go out my door. But I think Nat King Cole or Johnny Mathis, the greatest Christmas album. Pick one. What would you say?
I'm gonna say Johnny Mathis.
I got to go with
And that's
Mathis.
hard. That's hard because that's like
Yeah.
saying which is better, close to the edge or like or roundabout.
Yeah.
Fragile. I don't even know how would I pick. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, but I will say Mathis. Um, and again, that's so hard to pick because
Yeah.
both are so excellent and very similar, which is funny.
Yeah.
Um, but when it comes, when it comes time to like really think about the sound of Christmas, I think Mathis. I
Yeah. You
mean,
got to go with Johnny Mathis.
yeah,
Yeah. From
for
the
me,
album cover to the production to the arrangers, it's genius, you know.
it's just timeless album. It will never age. It's
Yeah.
timeless.
Johnny Mathis is the Emerson, Lake and Palmer of
Yeah,
Christmas.
I think so. I agree with you.
Oh, and we can't forget Greg Lake, Father Christmas.
Oh, you mentioned that. Yeah.
That is my all-time favorite Christmas song.
Yeah, you mentioned that.
Yeah, in the 70s, and that's what he got famous for. He got, imagine that. He's an Emerson, Lake and Palmer, greatest prog band in the world.
I believe in Father Christmas.
Yeah, and it's beautiful. When I listen to it, I cry. I cry. It reminds me of me and my kid when my kid was little and we were buying a Christmas tree and it popped on through the speakers. And I was like, this is a magical moment right now. This is from
Mm.
God. I'll never forget that as long as I live, you know. Thank you, Greg Lake, man. But on that note, another great Christmas episode, number two, episode number 71. Um, and then we're gonna jump back on the Prague. Well, the Prague wagon was here the whole time. It was like
We had to do it. Now we got
counter.
Rush references, Prog references.
Yeah, the Prague was like our counter melody in this arrangement that we're doing here. So we're gonna say good night and wish everyone happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, all that good stuff, and I'll see you hopefully at the temple, and we will continue our Prague journey. And everyone have a Merry Christmas, and hope you enjoyed this second year Christmas episode, and looking forward to the third one for next year. I don't know what we're going to come up with, but last year we said, how could we top it? How could we
We're
come
gonna
up
top.
with?
Don't even bother saying that because we're gonna top it.
Yeah, yeah,
Um, yeah, quoting. Although it's been said many times, many ways, Merry Christmas to you. A very Merry Christmas to everyone out there. I hope happy holidays.
yeah,
May the calendar bring you happiness. And please, thank you so much for watching. If you
yeah,
made it this far, and Cheech and I wish you a very Merry Christmas, a Happy New Year, just in case of you watching, you tune out.
yeah.
but
And
but
thank you all. It's been a great year for the Cheech and Manny show. We had some great guests. And thank you for all our supporters that watch the show, believe in the show, and just keep on supporting, like, and subscribe. We're getting more subscribers, and thank you so much.
I love it.
So,
And again,
Nanu, Nanu,
Nanu, Nanu, and they know that Santa's on his way and he's loaded lots of toys and goodies for his sleigh. It's on his
definitely.
sleigh. So,
Yep.
Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas, and crank up that Johnny Mathis album because
Yo,
he
spin it, put the
rocks.
needle, play it on Apple Music, stream it on Spotify.
And remember, you will get some leg tonight
You will get some leg tonight for sure.
from Johnny Mathis.
Cut it, cut it out, Dave.
Oh man. So anyway, all right, Manny, great episode, and I will talk to you soon.
Yes,
Merry
sir,
Christmas.
Cheech. Merry Christmas and to all a good night.
Take
All
care.
right.
2,
Bye.
3, 4.